Hey, what is up guys? This is Sleet, and I'm back with a new guide. I wanted to share with the community a new build that I've been playing with on the PBE 10.15. Been enjoying it, so here we go. So the general build is this, and you'll notice right away that you have 5 cost units. You got Sol, Urgot, Lulu, Janna, and Ekko, supplemented by Fizz, Soraka there, as well as Rakan and Neeko up in the front line all by yourself. And this is your synergy list here. You got 3 protectors, which you may want to supplement with another protector spat if you can. 2 Celestials, 2 Infiltrators, 2 Mystics, and 3 Star Guardians. And now you may encounter this build, or at least heard of it at least, as the PEEBA build. And PEEBA is a challenger player on the North American servers. And I've heard of it through the grapevine and wanted to try the build myself. And I think there are guides on this, but I wanted to put one out for myself, at least for my own records. And so yeah, let's get into it. So what are the core requirements of this build? First and foremost, it is an ultra fast 9 comp, and what I mean by that is you need to be the first to get to level 9, and you gotta do it quickly. I say about by stage 5-1 you want to get there, and that's because 5 of your units are 5 cost, and level 9 is the earliest you can, reliably roll down and start hitting those units. And you also have 2 4 cost as well. You're also going to want to 2-star all of your units, at least, because legendary units, sure, at 1 cost, they still have their uses, but at 1 star, they're unlikely to be better than what you already have on the board until you 2-star them. So that's that. The third part is that there are a few core items that are necessary to this build. And I would say Morello on Sol is the absolute necessity for this build. Having tried it multiple times, I would say that not having Morellos was what held me back. So Morello on Sol is what makes it that consistent DPS that damages all of your enemy's units over time, and even taking out pesky tanks like Vanguards or healers like Celestial comps, things like that. If you can also get a protector spat on him, even better. It would also up your synergies to 4 protectors, so that would be nice. In second place, I think you need Shojin on Janna, and that's because her thing is to dish out some serious CC as well as buff all of your units. If you can also afford Runans on her, that would be even better. And these items would be great to put on Bard to get to level 9. So for Neeko, I think it's a little bit more flexible. You definitely want some medley of tank items on her, since she is your only frontline. QSS would be ideal because that will, prevent her from being Zephyred, right? Again, because she is your only frontline. And then finally for Urgot, I think this is flexible as well. The point is for him to ult at least once. More than that would be great. So obviously the very best item you can give him is GA, but other tank items would also be useful for him. Urgot, I think, is an indispensable part of this comp. He is incredibly useful to take out that 3-star Jarvan, for example, or that mech in the front line, so you can reach that pesky backline. So some other considerations regarding this build. So if you get an early Bard, that's probably a very good sign for you to move forward with this build, especially if you can get a 2-star Bard and Shojin, and even better with Runan. I would almost argue that Bard is a necessity to this build because, getting to level 9 with enough health and econ, that is a difficult venture on its own. and Bard that can consistently dish out 3 experience points up to 10, even more. You can see how important of a role he can play. Point number 2 is that from what I can gather, you can play any comp you want really in the early and mid game, so long as it is your strongest board. Now you want to reach level 9 with enough health and with enough econ, meaning you can't really roll down, so you have to be cognizant about what the game is giving you and doing what's best with what you have without rolling down. The third point here is that very, very, very likely at the time of transition you're going to be at the brink of going 8th, and that's just a consequence of you not rolling down to 2-starring or 3-starring your units. So this build is definitely not for the faint of heart. It's one where you're putting yourself in a position where you could go 8th, and there's always going to be bad RNG. You may be placed up against the first place guy, or you may not hit your units, and so this is a build where, again, high risk, high reward. The fourth point here is that this build is definitely one of the strongest endgame comps, but it is certainly also not invincible. It's not gonna guarantee you first place necessarily. There are certainly other builds. The rest of the lobby they're chasing their 3-star Ashe, for example, with Shojins, who's going to perma CCU. Or someone might have a 3-star Jhin, pretty much one-shotting each of your units. So again, not invincible, but still a very strong comp. I played this build, or variations of it, 6 consecutive times and got top 4 each time. So it's strong. One fun fact before we get to the gameplay: on the PBE, this is my handle. And the story behind it is that back when we were playing set 3, I got a Cho'Gath, 3-star Cho'Gath, and my wife was next to me, Mrs. Sleet, and she says, did you say 3-star Chode? Not even knowing what a Chode is. I lolled and thought that was the best handle ever, and that's that. So just in case you were wondering. So for the purposes of this tutorial, I thought I'd just walk through one of my gameplays to kind of show how one would typically build this comp, the transition and whatnot. I'll probably say for another video kind of the nuances or situational issues that might come up, like with positioning and itemization, stuff like that. So here I picked up the Graves. This is the Star Cluster Galaxy, so you can pick up a full-on 2-star unit. I picked Graves for 2 reasons. One, Graves is actually a really good counter right now to the meta. His blind, at 3-star it's a 6-second blind. That will completely disable a Shredder build or other attack builds. The other reason is he has a sword, and the sword is a component of GA, and I think GA is again, a very critical component or item for this build. So here, I was thinking about going Vanguards again, so that's why I picked up the Dauntlesses, but I'm seeing here 2 Rakans, which I'm gonna need eventually anyway, so I picked those up, and the Jarvan as well. Decided to go for a Protector frontline instead. I also leveled up here so that I can start off strong and maintain a healthy lead up in front, because I know I'm going to lose a lot of health in the back end. I end up winning the first 2 rounds, which is great. I do end up losing to these guys. I mean, 3 protectors, especially with that massive Neeko stun right there, and the 2-star Xayah couldn't compete. So here at the carousel round, I'm definitely thinking about all the items I need for my endgame comp. So like the Shojin, the Morellos, but I also see 4 spats here, which would be great to create a protector spat since I do have an extra belt at the moment. I also didn't have the option to go for the tier or the rod, so I went with the spat. So I sold the Rakan to get the belt free, and so I learned the hard way here, but I wanted to make sure or check to see if the protector spat works on Zed, and as you can see right here, 1, 2, 3, nope, it does not work. So just wanted to get that clarification. So there's not much to say. I'm skipping around a little bit. I'm pretty much just running a protector infiltrator build with whatever I can find without rolling down. I subbed in the Neeko for the Jarvan. For those that don't know yet, Jarvan got nerfed. His attack speed is I think it's 50% now at level 1. Plus the Neeko is going to be in my final comp, so here I decided, even though 50 coins is ideal to maximize interest, to level instead, so that I can put another unit in and hopefully get a bit of a win streak going. I mean, to even get the 50 gold interest, I would have had to win that round, and wasn't sure if I could win with just 5 units. In retrospect here, I think I could have, but I also wasn't willing to sell any of my units. I did want to see if I can get a 3-star Graves here, so that's that. So in the 3-4 carousel round, I see very clearly a 2-star Bard with a tier on himself. That is, that is what I'm eyeing. I am shocked that no one else went for it. So since it's in the clear, I went, did a little fake and then went for the tier. I already have the sword, so I can go ahead and make my Shojin. If I didn't get that one, I'd probably get the Wukong with the vest, so I can make my GA there, and also, Wukong is an amazing champ. I do end up having to sell the Zed, unfortunately. I mean, he's a great infiltrator, but I definitely wanted the Shojin Bard to go to work right away. I end up putting the protector spat on Bard. Was debating whether between him and Shaco. I end up putting it on Bard just because it makes him survive quite a bit longer, so he can generate a few more meeps each round. I did get my ass kicked here, so it's a good sign that the ass kicking will continue. I get really lucky here. I get the cloak so I can get my hurricanes. I also get another belt so that I could go ahead and get, that's one component of a Morello. So all I need is a rod. So you can already see here the Shojin Hurricane combo going to work. Bard only needs to do 2 auto attacks to ult. You also see the protector spat going to work here too. He's He's able to last quite a bit longer thanks to that constantly regenerating shield. So it's the 4-4 carousel round. You can see that I beeline for the rod. I did take a big chunk of damage. I'm first pick, so that's one benefit of that. And you can see that when you compare my levels to everyone else, I am at, you know, everyone's 7, 6, 5. I'm already very close to 9, so you can see that my fast 9 strategy is working. Here I pick up the Janna, sell the Blitz to get the rod, making my Morellos now because I'm going to obviously need that soon. You know, picking up the Janna is great because that's where the items are going to go as soon as I hit level 9. So I make a mistake here. I know I'm going to need to put that Morellos on the A-Sol. I should have just put it on Grave since he's going to get sold anyways and Rakan's going to stay. So that is, yeah, that was my mistake. So this guy, he is eventually going to be the #1 in the lobby. He's win streaking right now. And just note that my current team is getting just demolished by his team right now. But as soon as I, you know, turn on the endgame build, you'll see how the tides turn. So this is the last creep round, and I definitely luck out here. I needed the chain vest to make my GA, and I got it, so that's great. Got another tier 2. Now it's time to level to 9 and start swapping out and start rolling down. Generally speaking, 5-1 is where you're going to want to do this, where you want to hit level 9. You want to hit level 9 with at least about 40 gold, so that you can roll down and start getting those units. You see, I hit the A-Sol, thankfully. Perfect. I wish I could have 2-starred him, but you know, you get what you get. Put in the Soraka, that's good. Put the items on Janna, and watch how differently the games go for me. So this comp, you know, kind of requires quick hands. You got to do some quick swapping at the very end. So it takes some practice. I wouldn't just rush into this build without knowing what to do. You know, the way you do it is you start taking out, as soon as you start hitting 2-star versions of your endgame comp, you start putting them in, swapping them in for your lesser units. Thankfully I hit the 2-star A-Sol here, and now all I need is an Ekko and a Rakan, and to 2-star my Neeko. and my Lulu, as well as my Urgot. So I got some work to do, but you see that even with an incomplete swap, my power spike is definitely noticeable. And as you can see, I also went ahead and used the Neeko's help on Janna to 2-star her for one, that I can. She was the one that I could 2-star, and two, I think, again, in my personal opinion, she is maybe the second most crucial champ to this comp, making sure that she does global CCs and buffing your team constantly. So here, I mean, the carousel items aren't that great. I went ahead and got the ZZ Rot. I was also debating between the ZZ Rot and the QSS, but I didn't see any Zephyrs, so didn't feel like I needed that. The additional tankiness coming from the ZZ Rot, I thought, was more important here. Now here, I'm not so sure whether it's better to econ a little bit or keep rolling down. I chose to do the latter just because I'm at 24 health. That could be death by 1 or 2 fights. So I'm just trying to make sure that I am staying healthy, not taking any chances. So you can see in this fight, everyone's doing their role perfectly. Fizz went to the right spot. I mean, he died prematurely, unfortunately, because of that Ashe ult. But Janna's dishing out her CC. Urgot's taking out the tank. And Sol is doing the cleanup work. I also probably should have picked up the Lulu here, sold one of the Sols. I got a little greedy, thinking I might try to be able to 3-star the Sol, so that was the reason for that. So I actually don't know if a 2-star Shaco is better than a 1-star Ekko. That's why I haven't swapped him out yet. Would have been nice to have the 2-star Ekko here. Definitely would have given him the Bloodthirster. But I actually ended up giving the Bloodthirster to Janna, and maybe unexpectedly, she's actually dishing out quite a bit of damage from her auto attacks, especially with the Runan's Hurricane. That actually was a great decision on my part. We're now facing that first place guy that we got wrecked by with our previous build, and now see how the tenor goes. See, Fizz did a perfect ult, right, since they're all clumped in together. And despite having a 3-star Shaco, he just couldn't do anything because John is constantly CCing. I finally get the 2-star Ekko here, so I can finally swap out Shaco, and now I have the official build. Since the last time we faced him, I think really the only upgrade he's gotten is the 3-star Rakan, which, that is not the win condition for him to beat me. I think the win condition for him would have been to get a 3-star Ashe with the right items. Although it's probably too late for that. So we're up against the first place guy again. And as you can see, didn't reposition, which I think was a mistake. I think had he repositioned, he would have had a much better chance. That Shaco is just, you know, he would end up chasing my Asol and not doing as much work as he could have. And also, Shaco really needs RFC to be successful from my observation. He didn't build that. That was another, I guess, a mistake on his part. So here I really couldn't have gone wrong with any of the items. You know, I could have picked the IE and put it on Ekko for more damage. I ended up going with the Star Guardian spat so that, you know, I could ult a little faster. I ended up putting it on Urgot, but could have probably put it on someone else as well. Sadly, I did not hit the 3-star Asol. End up using my last Neeko's help to get Lulu to 2-star. He again did not reposition his units. So unsurprisingly, history will repeat itself. I will say that in another game of mine, this Dark Star build with a 3-star Shaco with RFC and with the right positioning did end up still kicking my ass. So that's why I say, you know, this build is great, but not unwinnable against. And there you have it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope that was helpful, and see you guys next time.